Om Dakshinasya Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Smarya Guru Parampara Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Parijnanashrama Shri Guru Shankara Parijnanashrama Shankara Satguru Keshava Vamana Krishna Panduranga Ananda Parignana Guru Sadyo Jata Shankara Satguru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, in Ramagita, Bhagwan Rama, the Acharya, is telling Lakshmana, the Shishya, he is giving him the Atma Jnanam exactly the way an Upanishad gives, exactly the way the Upanishad talks about. In the same way, Bhagwan Ram is giving this knowledge. First, he talks about the Adhikaritvam, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti Adhikaritvam. And he says, to develop that Adhikaritvam or Arhata for this knowledge, one has to do Karma Yoga. And what is Karma Yoga? He has already explained in the previous verses. We have actually completed the 21st verse in the last session. I'm just giving you a small summary. And Bhagwan Ram also brought in a very popular philosophy which existed in the Vedic times, which said that knowledge alone is not sufficient for freedom from samsara. Jnana is not enough for moksha. Jnana requires the help of karma. A Purva Mimamsaka says that jnanam is not necessary at all. Karma is sufficient to give you moksha. Whereas a Jnana Karma Samuchayavadi is another philosopher who says that no, jnanam is necessary for moksha, but equally karma also is necessary. Karma means the Vedic rituals, the ritualistic karma. So, jnanam and karma should go hand in hand together. Then only moksha is possible. Otherwise, what will happen? Jnanam, you may say, will give moksha, but after that, ignorance will come back again if you do not continue to do the karma. And he gives so many examples from Vedas, so many examples from some Upanishads, where he says that karma means ritualistic karma, one has to continue. So according to them, there is no chance for sannyasa at all, because you cannot give up the karma. You cannot give up the ritualistic karma, Vaidika karma. So there is no question of sannyasa at all. So even if you take sannyasa, you have to do the karma. So there is no use of taking sannyasa. This is the context of those people. And Bhagwan Rama brought in that also. Why? Because Ramagita is a typical Upanishadic teaching, where even the objections from other philosophies are brought in. This shows that Lakshmana is a very, very mature adhikari for this, and he is able to understand this. And therefore, I am also bringing this Jnana Karma Samuchayavada, I am also bringing this here in Ramagita, because We are already so many years old. We are all jnana vriddhas. For the last 6 years, we have been studying our scriptures, starting from Bhagavad Gita. Even in Bhagavad Gita, there are a lot of arguments about jnanam alone or jnana karma samuchaya, which comes in Shankara Bhashyam. But in Moolam, we do not deal with it. But now, as we go deeper and deeper into Vedanta, we have to start understanding what are the other philosophies which are talking something very different from, jnanatu eva kaivalyam. And that was over in the 20th verse. So, Bhagwan Ram said that, and according to the scriptures, scriptural pramana only, Bhagwan Ram said that Vidya or Atma Vidya is sufficient enough to destroy ignorance in a person who is well prepared for this knowledge. Karma, doing ritualistic karma as per your varnashrama dharma, is only for the preparation of the mind, only for chitta shuddhi and chitta naishchalyam. Once chitta shuddhi and chitta naishchalyam are definitely there is no need for a person who is an uttama adhikari to continue any of the preparatory sadhanas. Karma yoga in Bhagavad Gita is described as a bahiranga sadhana for jnanam. Bahiranga sadhana means what? As a preparatory step for Atmajnanam. And Atmajnanam is independently capable of producing moksha in a prepared intellect without the help of any karma or without the help of anything else. Because karma is doing, Atmajnanam is knowing. So you cannot combine knowing and doing together. It is not possible. Once all the doing is done, once the mind is prepared, then what is necessary is knowing. Ramagita is at a little deeper level. But we cannot keep on sailing, just on the superficial layers of Vedanta. Sometime or the other, we have to go deeper. And our Pujya Swamiji always tells me, in every text that you proceed, go deeper, go deeper. But I'm a little hesitant because I don't know how many people will be able to understand it. But then I think we have to get into the deeper waters sometime or the other. So we completed the 21st verse also last time, where Bhagwan Ram gave the examples or the pramana from 2 Upanishads. From the Taittiriya Upanishad also he gave, and also from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also he gave examples where he said these 2 Shrutis, not only these 2, all the Upanishads talk about this. But Bhagwan Ram has given 2 very, very important Upanishads, the Taittiriya Upanishad and the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, to talk about ultimately Atmajnanam is sufficient independently to give moksha, to destroy the ignorance which is keeping us bound. That's it. If we know that much, that is enough. So up till at the stage of chitta shuddhi and up till the stage of yogyata prapti, one has to do all the ritualistic karmas as advised by the Shruti. But once the intellect is prepared for this, then there is absolutely no need. One can take up to a life of sannyasa and pursue only this knowledge or pursue only nididhyasanam. Be there totally engrossed and abiding in that knowledge. Like what Rishi Yajnavalkya did. He was a jnani, but he left Grihastha and he went away to the forest because he wanted to be in that, absorbed in his Swarupam, his Swarupa Jnanam. So now we'll go to the 22nd verse of Ramagita, where he says again that Vidyasamattvena tu darshitastvaya kraturna drishtanta udahritas samaha phalaihi prithakvad bahukarakaihi kratuhu samsadhyate jnanamato viparyayam. So Bhagwan Ram is giving an answer to the opponent, to the Jnana Karma Samuchaya Vadi. He says, Vidya Samatvena tu darshitaha tvaya. What karma has been given by you, the ritualistic Vedic karmas, you call them as Vidya Samatvena. Vidya Samatvena means you take them as good as Vidya. Vidya Samatvena tu darshitaha tvaya. You are, equating Atmajnanam to karma. You say that ritualistic karma is independent enough to give moksha, or at the most, it has to be combined with the jnanam for moksha. But no, you are not giving any examples for that in the Shruti. There is no single example in any Upanishad or any other Smriti Grantha like Bhagavad Gita where jnana and karma are combined together. There is an Upanishad called as Ishavasya Upanishad, in which the first verse talks about jnanam alone, Atma Jnanam alone, as the one which gives rise to moksha. In the second verse, the Upanishad says, if you are not prepared for this knowledge, then continue doing Vedic or ritualistic karma till you are prepared for that. That's all it says. But there is no other Upanishad, no Shruti, no Vedanta Grantha talks about the two being having the same order. Therefore, they cannot be combined. So, Vidya Samatvena tu darshitaha tvaya. What did you say? Karma is equivalent, or it has the same value as that of Jnanam, where the both can be combined. But, hey Lakshmana, they two are very different. Why? Karma requires kartritvam. Karma requires various karakas. Karma requires various sadhanas. Whereas Jnanam does not require any karakas. Jnanam does not require an active kartritvam. Just exposing my intellect to the knowledge, Guru Mukhena Shastra Shravanam, is sufficient. I have nothing to do there. Automatically the knowledge takes place. I cannot stop. For example, my eyes, when I open my eyes, what I see in front of me, can I change it? No. I am not there. When my eyes are open and what my eyes catch, I don't have any control over it. Similarly, when my mind is exposed to knowledge and when my mind grasps knowledge, the ahankara, has no role to play in it. So therefore, there is no kartritvam there. So he says that, kraturna drishtanta udahritaha samaha. He says, kratu means the karmas, ritualistic karmas. You have, that is those philosophers who have equated with jnanam. It is not possible because these people have not given any pramana from the Vedanta that both of them can be combined. And they are different. Why? Because the third line, you see, phalaihi prathak Prithaktvad bahukarakaihi kratuhu. Phalas are different. Vijnanam phala is only moksha. And what is moksha? It is a nitya phalam. With karma, what is the phalam? Different phalas. With different karma, I get different phalas. And how long do those phalas last? Anitya. So with jnanam, there is one phalam, nitya phalam, moksha. Okay? Whereas for karma, multiple karmas, multiple karakas, multiple phalas, all anitya phalas. So he says, phalaihi, okay, by the phalas, prithaktvad bahukarakaihi kratuhu. Not only the phalas are different, for the karma, ritualistic karma, bahukarakas, different karakas. Karakas means what? Supporting sadhanas, supportive things. Like in Mundakopanishad we saw. Patni, Putra, then 16 advaryus. And generally it is said that Putra, Patni, Daivi Sampat, Manushi Sampat. So there are these karakas which are necessary for karma. Isn't it? You have to spend money, you have to have resources, you have to have advaryus to come and do it for you. You are only the yajamana. As a yajamana, you have to have the support of the patni, putra, vittam. So many karakas are necessary. Whereas for jnanam, no karakas are necessary at all. It is the intellect, the prepared intellect, getting exposed to the pramana of what? Shastra. That's all. So phalaihi pritaktvad bahukarakaihi kratuhu samsadhyate jnanamato viparyayam. Viparyaya. So karma, ritualistic karmas and jnanam have two different they're in two different directions. They give two different directions of phalas. You understand what is it? Different directions. They're totally in two different directions. Like in Kathopanishad we saw, what did we see? There is preyas and there is shreyas. Karma gives rise to preyas, jnanam gives rise to shreyas. Duramete, viparite, vishuchi, said Kathopanishad. What's the meaning of that? Duramete. Karma and jnanam are two paths which are totally divergent. Viparite, exactly in the opposite directions, vishuchi. The paths of karma and jnanam, ritualistic karma and atma jnanam, are two different things, two paths going towards different directions. One path takes me to the worldly attainment called prayas. The other one takes me to the release from samsara called as moksha. Duramete, viparite, they're exactly opposite viparita, vishuchi. They're all two different paths. They can never be combined. They're not even parallel. They're exactly opposite, 180 degrees opposite to each other. The same Kathopanishad says, okay, avritta chakshuhu amritatvam icchan kaschid dhiraha. A rare, mumukshu interested in moksha realizes that I can't hold on to the ritualistic karma forever. I have to turn inwards. I have to turn my vision inwards for amritatvam. Amritatvam icchan avritta chakshuhu. So that's what Bhagwan Rama is saying here also. This is an Upanishad only. Rama Gita is nothing but an Upanishad. Like our Bhagavad Gita is also an Upanishad only. Because both of them are moksha shastras. At least in Bhagavad Gita, you get some other things like how to be harmonious with the environment, what to eat, what not to eat. So many things are talked about. In the third chapter, so many things are talked about other than Atma Jnana. In the 6th chapter, ahara, vihara, so many things are talked about. In the 17th chapter, 16th chapter, some other things are talked about. Though it is a moksha shastra, but Rama Gita is a capsule form of Bhagavad Gita, where only jnanam is talked about. Nothing else is being talked about. And in 63 verses, Bhagwan Ram gives the entire meaning or the core teaching of all the Upanishads. Therefore, you may feel that it is little difficult, but we have to go along, we have to learn ourselves to learn more difficult things. We can't just remain at a very, very superficial level all the time. We can't be living only at the Tattva Bodha level all the time. We have to learn to go further, go deeper, and understand things at a much deeper level also. So he says that, therefore, self-knowledge, that is Atmajnanam, and ritualistic karma are two different, divergent, opposite paths. And then he gives an example in the 23rd verse again. He says, Sapratyavayo hyaham ityanatmadhihi agnya prasiddhana tu tattvadarshinaha tasmad buddhaistyajamapi kriyatmabhihi vidhanatah karma vidhi prakashitam. So, sapratyavayo hi aham iti anatmadhihi agnyah prasiddha. The verses are a little difficult here. Language is a little difficult here. So if we know how to clearly break where. So, aham sapratyavayo iti anatmadhihi manyate. That means what? An anatmadhi, an agnya, an ignorant person says or considers that if I don't follow the Shastric karma, Vaidika karmas, I will get a dosha called as Pratyavaya dosha. What is the meaning of Pratyavaya dosha or Pratyavaya papa? It's called as Pratyavaya papa. When you don't do what you are supposed to do, then it gives rise to Pratyavaya papa, says the Vedas. Why do Vedas say that? We have to understand very clearly. If you don't do your Nitya Naimitika karmas, that is in our parlance now, I explained in the last session, Pancha Mahayajnas. If we do not do the Pancha Mahayajnas, if we don't do the Vedic enjoined karmas, then what happens to us? We get, according to the Veda Purva, we get what is called as Pratyavaya Papa. What is the meaning of Pratyavaya Papa? That means some kind of, a dosha which I acquire because of my act of omission. Act of omission gives rise to certain effects, correct? There are certain things which I have to do, I don't do, that also gets an effect. Acts of commission, definitely we get some kind of result. There is no doubt about it. So ultimately, what he says is that a person who is a Shastric karmi, that means what? A person who is doing the Shastriya karma and who has the understanding that ultimately karma is absolutely necessary, such a person thinks that if I do not do these karmas, I get Pratyavaya dosha or Pratyavaya papa. Actually, what is meant by Pratyavaya papa is, when you don't do what you are supposed to do, you do something which you are not supposed to do, and then you will get the consequences of that. That is Pratyavaya. Because not following the karma cannot give rise to anything like that. But what is said here is, when you don't follow what you are supposed to, when you don't follow what you are supposed to do, then you end up doing things which you are not supposed to do, and that itself can give rise to what is called as a pratyavaya papa. So here, this person who is definitely identified himself with Shastric karma thinks that he is going to land up with pratyavaya papa if he does not do the karmas he is supposed to do. Whereas, natu tattvadarshinaha, a tattvadarshinaha, that means a person who is a tattvadarshi, a person who is a jnani, does not think like that. A jnani does not think like that. Natu tattvadarshinaha. Tasmad buddhaistyajyamapi kriyatmabhihi. Therefore, buddhaihi, a person who has very clearly understood Aham Brahmasmi, or a person who has already gone through the Jnana Yoga and who is now willing to do the Dhyana Yoga, in such a person, then he has to give up doing the Shastriya karma also at some time or the other. Okay, he says that. And how? Kriyatma bihi vidhanatah karma vidhi prakashitam. Prakashitam karma vidhi vidhanatah tyajet, means take up to a lifestyle of sannyasa. Okay, a person who is a jnani, he is called as a vidvat sannyasi. He can take up vidhivat to a lifestyle of sannyasa and go away, okay, and need not go through any of these actions. And Veda itself permits such a person to take up to a life of sannyasa. And we already have discussed that there are two types of sannyasas. One is called as the Vividisha sannyasa, the other one is called as the Vidvat sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa is when I don't want to pursue the Vaidika karmas and I take up to a lifestyle of sannyasa by giving up grahastha for the exclusive pursual of this knowledge in the Gurukulam, in the presence of the Guru. This is called as a Vividisha sannyasa. Whereas a person who already has got this knowledge, who's already a jnani, who's abiding already in his Atma Swarupa, feels that it's no longer necessary for him to stay in the grahastha and do all the karmas, he can take up also to a lifestyle of sannyasa, which is called as Vidvat sannyasa. Okay, therefore, if, after this knowledge or for the pursuit of this knowledge, one with the permission of the Shruti, Vedas themselves permit a person to take up to a lifestyle of sannyasa to the exclusive pursuit of this knowledge or to abide in the Atma Swarupam. Then the 24th verse, we'll take up the 24th verse. Then he says, Shraddhanvitah tattvamasiti vakyatah guroho prasadaadapi shuddhamanasah vijñāya chaikātmya tathatma jivayoho sukhi bhaven meruriva prakampanah. So here, now the karma is over. The topic about the ritualistic karma is over. The topic about the preparation of the mind with the Shastric karma is over. And now, when a person is ready for this knowledge, what is he supposed to do? A person who is a mumukshu, shraddhanvitaha, a person who is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari. He has done enough of karma, enough of upasana. There is sufficient amount of chitta shuddhi to understand this knowledge, to pick up, to absorb this knowledge. He has shraddha that this Vedantic knowledge which comes out in the teaching of the Guru is capable of giving me freedom forever from this life of samsara, of coming back, going again and again. Such a person, a mumukshu, here is called as Shraddhanvitaha. Shraddhanvitaha. Who is he? A person who has done enough of karma yoga, upasana yoga, who is an adhikari for this knowledge. A tivra mumukshu here is called as a Shraddhanvitaha. Okay. Such a Shraddhanvitaha, what happens? He has to go to the Guru to get this knowledge. Okay. Guroho prasadad api shuddha manasa. Okay, so who is this? Shraddhanvitaha, shuddha manasaha, guroho prasadat. By going to the Guru. How should you go to the Guru? Sameva gurumeva adhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. A person who is a Shraddhanvitaha, who is a shuddha manasaha, the one who has understood Shuddha Manasaha. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Naishalyam, the one who has Shuddha Manasa, has to approach a Guru. Guru Upasadanam. He approaches a Guru in a vidhivat way. Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So he goes, approaches a Guru with Samit Pani. Samit Pani means what? Dried twigs which are used to kindle the ritualistic fire. And he goes to the Gurukulam, to the Guru, and takes this samit, dried, pieces of wood. What is the significance? The significance is that this signifies that my intellect is prepared like these dry twigs of the wood to catch the fire, the spark of the knowledge that is going to come from you. Okay, so here, Shraddhanvitaha, Shuddha Manasaha, and Guroho Prasadat, with the help of the Guru. Guroho Prasadat means with the help of the Guru, taking this knowledge from the Guru, not independent. Many people feel that I've read this, I've read that, I've done independent study of this Upanishad, that Upanishad. Have you learned from a Sampradaya with Guru? No. I know the language very well. There are many translations now. So I do my own study. I have studied the Upanishads. And I have done MA in philosophy. And I have done PhD in philosophy. And what is my topic? Prasthanatraya Shankara Bhashya is my PhD thesis. Doesn't matter. You are a scholar. Good. Very good. You are a scholar. But scholarship is not sufficient. This knowledge has to be imbibed. It has to be properly digested. And for that to happen, this knowledge should come through a sampradaya with Guru. Guru Prasadat. The Guru has to bless you. And it is only with the Guru's blessing that this knowledge becomes available to me. It says that the Guru knows how to open the lock of the words of the Shruti. Try reading an Upanishad. It's a simple thing. I mean, I may be a Sanskrit scholar, a Samskrita scholar, teaching Sanskrit. But let me see if I can read this Ramagita, even 1 or 2 verses, and understand what is being said. It's not possible. Proficiency in a language is not sufficient to understand the deeper meaning of something. Similarly, proficiency in Sanskrit, in which all our scriptures are, they are very cryptic. The way they are put, very cryptic. Like here only you see that we have to join words from one line to the other to make a proper understandable sentence. Otherwise, what happens? One word is here, one word is there, and you don't know what is being said here. See, Shraddhanvitaha Tatvamasi iti Vakyataha Guru Prasadat Shuddha Manasa. Shuddha Manasa has gone somewhere. So, Shraddhanvitaha Shuddha Manasaha Guroho Prasadat, okay, Tatvamasi iti Vakyataha. The Guru will teach what? Mahavakya. The Guru will know how to put across the Mahavakya, how to teach the Mahavakya. What is Mahavakya? That you, Tvam, are not different from Tat, that Brahman. You, the Jiva, is not different from Ishvara. You, the Jiva, is not different from Brahman. Jiva Brahma Abheda, that which explains, is called as Mahavakya. And Tattvamasi is the most important teaching Mahavakya. So he says, Guroho Prasadat Tattvamasi iti Vakyataha. Tattvamasi iti Vakyataha means ultimate teaching is what? Mahavakya. You are that. Okay? You are looking for something outside. It's only transactional. What you get from outside is only karma phala, which is transactional. Phala, which is anityam. Phalam, which comes and goes. But what you really need as a human being is the final and ultimate release from samsara, which is nothing but moksha. And for that, you have to understand the Shrutis, Mahavakyas. And Tattvamasi is the teaching Mahavakya which comes in Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad is the one which gives this teaching, where the teaching is done 9 times. The Guru, Uddhalaka, who is the very father and Guru of the Shishya Shvetaketu, gives this knowledge. He Shvetaketu tat tvam asi. That Brahman which we are talking about is none other than you yourself. Tat Brahma tvameva asi. Saha Ishvaraha tvameva asi. So tattvam asi iti vakyataha. Okay. What do you understand by that? Now you go to the third line. That is ekatmya ekatmyam atha atma jiva yoho. What does this tattvamasi teach you? Okay. Eka atmyam. Okay. Atha atma jiva yoho. This tattvamasi iti vakyataha guroho prasadat tattvamasi iti vakyataha. Okay. Eka atmaikya yatha atma jiva yoho. That is Brahma jiva yoho aikyatvam ekatvam vijnaya. Having known. See how we have to change, how we have to arrange the words if you want to get a proper meaning. Okay. Chaika, that is Vijnaya cha ekatmyam athatma jiva yoho. Atha atma jiva yoho. Vijnaya, having known. Sukhi bhave, may you be happy forever. May you abide in your Atma Swarupaha. And how? Then what will you be when you abide in your Atma Swarupa? Meru riva aprakampanaha. You no longer get swayed by samsara. Otherwise, what is our life today? Get swayed here, get swayed there. What are we like? We are like that, alabu, it is said, a dry kind of a gourd which has fallen into the river, and it just goes like this, here, there, absolutely no control over anything. Our lives are like that. We are pulled in this direction today, pulled in that direction today. Some war is going on somewhere, we are affected because we don't get gas, we don't get petrol. We are affected because somebody else is doing something somewhere else and something is happening here. So we are all the time afflicted by the world outside. But a person who understands that I am not different from that Ishvara, who is the very Adhishtanam of this entire universe, then everything that is happening around me is like a wave in the ocean. I am the water. The wave in the ocean does not disturb me anymore because I am the very water in which all the waves are happening. I am that very Ishvara in which the whole world, all changes, all things that are happening in the world are happening in me, the Ishvara. When I know this, nothing outside disturbs me. And that is what is called as moksha. So here in this verse, 24th verse, the entire journey of a mumukshu is talked about. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti he is mentioning by her Shraddhanvita. You know, no? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. What are they? Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. Correct? So Shraddhanvita means a mumukshu who has the Shraddha. Where does Shraddha come? Where does Shraddha come? This one. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, in which Shraddha in the Shastra, Shraddha in the Guru Vakyam. Correct? So a mumukshu, that is, I have already made up my mind. Purushartha Nishchaya, I have already made up my mind. What is that? Enough of this world of action, enough of this impermanent anitya karma phalas of my karmas, enough. Now, human life I have got, Manushya Janma I have got Manushatvam, Mumukshutvam I have got Mahapurusha Samshrayaha, which is nothing but the grace of Lord. And now I am going to make use of it. And I go through a process of Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Shuddha Manasaha. I have no more entanglements with the world outside. So, a Shraddhanvitaha means a mumukshuhu who is a Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. Shuddha Manasaha, the one who has gone through the preparatory phases of Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga. And thirdly, he has gone to the Guru Upasadanam. And with the Guru Prasada, he has understood the meaning of Tattvamasi Vakya. And what is the meaning of Tattvamasi Vakya? Abheda between Jiva and Ishvara, which we saw in Narada Bhakti Sutra. The entire Narada Bhakti Sutra was Abheda Bhakti, Para Bhakti. So, Atma Jiva Yoho Ekatmyam Vijnaya, having known Sukhi Bhave. Just I am abiding in my Ananda Swarupa Atma without getting affected by the world outside. Meru Iva. Meru means what? Meru is a mountain which is supposed to be supporting this entire universe. Meru Parvata. Meru, which, does not shake at all. It does not shake. It is Kanti Vikampanam is not there. Because Meru is holding the whole universe. It's supposed to be a Parvata which is under the sea, which is supposed to be holding the entire universe. Like they have that in the, I think it's a Greek history, Atlas, who's supposed to be holding the entire earth on his shoulders, supporting. So similarly here, Meru Parvata. Now Meru, whether it is really there or not, we don't know. But that is a Shastric example that is given as the very Adhishtanam of this entire physical universe. Okay, so it supports this entire manifest Vyavaharika Prapancha. So like that, Viprakampanaha. May you become absolutely steady. Kutastaha. Not moved by things going wrong this way, that way, this way, that way. Okay, so this is the journey of a mumukshu. Starting from sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, chitta shuddhi, guru upasadanam, mahavakya vichara, understanding, and then moksha, freedom forever. Okay. Now, from the next verse, Bhagwan Ram is going to talk about what is a mahavakya. What is a mahavakya and what does it contain? And Mahavakya, I'll just give you a little basic introduction on Mahavakya because it's very important. We have heard Mahavakyas in various Upanishads and Prakarana Granthas that we have done. We have heard it many times. What is a Mahavakya? Mahavakya is an equation. It's an equation which equates the Jiva and Brahma. Okay, because right now I consider myself as the Jiva. And for me, Ishvara or Brahman is something different, far away. Mahavakya is an equation which makes me understand that I, this Jiva, is not different from that Ishvara or Brahman. Now let's talk about an equation. What is an equation? An equation is something you need when the two sides of the equation look different. When you look from superficially, if you look, the two sides of the equation look different. But when you work out the equation by the logical steps, by the mathematical steps properly, scientifically, you understand that the left side and the right side are one and the same. That is an equation. If, superficially also, the left side and the right side are, very different, then there is no need of an equation. If they are the same also, there is no need of an equation. I'll tell you something. Okay. Left hand side you have 4 plus 3. Right hand side you have 9 minus 2. Okay. Now 4 is different, 3 is different, 9 is different, 2 is different. Here it is plus, here it is minus. Both sides look totally different. But when you work out, you find that it is 7 on this side, 7 on that side. Correct? Superficially, they looked different. But when you worked out, they are one and the same. Okay? If 9 minus 2 equals 9 minus 2, then there is no need of an equation. We know it very well. So when you have an equation, or if 9 plus 3 equals 9 minus 2, there is no equation possible. These are simple equations which we learned in high school, I am telling you. So what is an equation? When superficially the two sides of the equal mark look different, but when you work them out, the end result is the left side equals right side. This is an equation. Similarly, what is said is that the Jiva looks very different from Brahman or Ishvara from outside. When you look at the Upadhi, the Jiva Upadhi is limited. The body, mind, sense complex of a Jiva is limited. Ishvara Upadhi is unlimited. Maya itself is Ishvara's Upadhi. Correct? Jiva is Anitya. Ishvara or Brahman is Nitya. Jivas are Aneka. Brahman is Eka. Jiva is born, goes through the 6 stages of change, Shadvikaras, and ultimately dies. The body dies. Whereas in Brahman, there is no question of vikara there. There is no question of birth and death. The jiva is born, Brahman is not born. Jiva goes through all the vikaras, Shadvikaras, Brahma is vikara rahita. Jiva is a karta bhokta, Brahman is a karta bhokta. Where is any kind of a commonality between Jiva and Ishvara? There is no commonality. Then how can an Upanishad say that you, the Jiva, tvam, tat asi? How can you say that? Or aham, Brahma, asmi, how can I say that? Because everything looks so different. Everything is exactly opposite. I am limited, Bhagavan is unlimited. I am mortal, Bhagavan is immortal. I am constantly changing, Bhagavan is changeless. Bhagavan means Brahman or Ishvara. How can it be the same? So what does Mahavakya do? In spite of all the differences between Jiva and Brahman, Mahavakya helps me to remove all the superficial differences and come to the final adhishtanam of consciousness as aham, ahamatma, ayamatma, Brahma. That consciousness existence, Brahman, is nothing but me, this consciousness existence. This body, mind, sense complex is the Jiva Upadhi, which is Anatma. The whole world is Brahma or Ishvara Upadhi, which is also Anatma, name and form. Behind this name and form called as the body, mind, sense complex, what is permanent is this Sakshi Chaitanya Atma. Sat Chit Ananda Atma. Behind all the millions of names and forms in the samashti that we have there, what is the common adhishtanam? Satyam Jnanam Manantam Brahma, which is none other than me. It is the same consciousness, the same existence which is there behind this body, mind, sense complex, behind all the body, mind, sense complexes, behind the entire universe as the very adhishtanam of everything. That is why Bhagwan Krishna in the 13th chapter said, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu. In all the kshetras, behind all names and forms. And he also says, what is kshetra? Starting from the entire, from the whatever you think of in the world outside, up to even your intellect and your karana sharira is nothing but kshetra. This whole thing which I am aware of is a kshetra. I, the knower, only is kshetrajna. Everything else which is known to me is kshetra. So, just like this is my personal or jiva upadhi, which is limited, anityam, mortal, samashti ishvara upadhi. There for a long time also goes through changes, the whole world be the upadhi of Ishvara. But what is ultimately common between me, the jiva, and the world outside? It's nothing but that existence consciousness. Satyam Jnanam Anantam, that infinite Brahman. That consciousness I am. I am not this body, mind, sense complex. Even though there are superficial differences between Brahman and Jiva, ultimately the two are not separate because the very content of both of them is one and the same. The upadhi is not the content. The upadhi is something which is anatma, which has no value. That which is real in this body, mind, sense complex, the Atma, is none other than that Brahman. This is what is the teaching of Mahavakya. And our Shruti is full of many Mahavakyas. And when we talked about Mundakopanishad, Kathopanishad, and Kaivalyopanishad, I have told you so many verses saying that this is a Mahavakya, this is a Mahavakya. Our Upanishads have thousands of Mahavakyas. But for example, we take only 4 Mahavakyas. We just take only 4 for the sake of example, because examples are only given just 1 or 2. We don't give hundreds of examples. Correct? So for example, we give Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. These are the 4 sample Mahavakyas that are given, examples. But there are thousands of Mahavakyas in the entire Shruti. In Kathopanishad, if you see, the second chapter, first valli, Yetad Vaitat, that so many verses are nothing but Mahavakyas. So, a Mahavakya is the way of teaching the non-difference between Jiva and Brahman. And what are the different ways in which a Mahavakya is taught? What are the lakshanas of a Mahavakya? Do you take the Vakyartha or Lakshartha? How to see the Lakshartha in me, the Jiva, as Atma? How to see the Lakshartha as Brahman in the world outside? That is what is taught in Mahavakya. Mahavakya means don't look at the Vakyartha, go to the Lakshartha. Ignore the superficial words, go to the content, the ultimate meaning of the words. That is what is called as Mahavakya. And from the next session, we'll see how Bhagwan Rama is describing the Mahavakyas and describing what a Mahavakya is. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu guru sada sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kashchid dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.